Greetings, happy Friday, and welcome to this week's real estate tip. Today, I want to talk about probate. There are a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings when it comes to probate. Oftentimes, somebody passes away and they have a will that states, I'm leaving this property to my son or daughter, and my son or daughter is the executor of the estate. And so people think that that is sufficient to put the property on the market and sell it. And then later, when the title search is done, it turns out, oops, we need to open probate. Fundamentally, in Florida, when somebody passes away, unless that property is owned, as joint tenants with right of survivorship, such as husband and wife, or if the person had a life estate and there are remainder men already set up to automatically own the property at death, except for those two circumstances, probate must be opened. And the purpose of probate is to put the public on notice and determine if there are any creditors that are out there that might have claims against the estate. And whoever is confirmed as the personal representative of the estate, also sometimes referred to as the executor of the estate, that person is responsible to provide an accounting for the estate, pay off any debts, deal with any creditor claims, and then what's left over gets passed on to the heirs. So without having probate opened and a letter of administration issued and a personal representative appointed, nothing really can happen. And if you have a sale contract, really, legally, that contract is not valid if it is executed by someone that has not been given that power by the probate court to sell the property. Now, sometimes, and especially here in Florida, a lot of people come to Florida, to retire, or they have part-time residences, snowbirds, as we call them sometimes. They may live in another state, and maybe their family is opening probate in that other state, let's say in New York or in Michigan or in California, and they happen to own property here in Florida. And so there is a letter of administration and a personal representative appointed by a court in New York, let's say, for example, to settle the affairs. And still, that party does not have authority until confirmed in Florida to sell the property. So even then, even if probate is opened in another state, we still need to have probate open in Florida, and there is an expedited process that makes it a little bit faster, but it might still take 1, 2, 3 months to get it all accomplished. So as a listing agent, if you're working with a seller where somebody is deceased, it's really, really critical that you confirm that probate has been opened. If you utilize our Cloud Title Safe Listing program, then we'll find out very quickly what needs to be done and work with the seller to ensure that all of the necessary steps are taken. But if you're a listing agent and you just take a listing and somebody says, I am the executor of the estate, here's a copy of the will, and you don't verify that probate has been opened, what will happen is that you may find a buyer, it goes under contract, and now we find out that we need to put this through probate, which, depending on the complexity, can take anywhere from 3 months to a year. And especially in this day and age, buyers are not going to hang around and wait for that to be resolved. So it's super critical, if you're dealing in a situation where somebody has passed away, that you get competent advice, talk to a title agent or talk to a real estate attorney, just to get an idea of, what has to happen. And again, the rule of thumb is, unless it is a property that automatically passes, such as owned by joint tenants with right of survivorship or husband and wife, probate must be opened. And if probate hasn't been opened, that is a challenge. And many times family members don't want to spend the $2,000, $3,000 that it might take to open probate. But unfortunately, it's not avoidable, and it will just lead to delays and heartaches down the road. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, direct message me, or email me, thomas@cloudtitle.com. I'll be happy to help answer any questions. And on that note, have an amazing Friday and weekend ahead. Until next week, I'm Thomas Heimann with Cloud Title, and appreciate you taking the time to watch this.